Your Denver Broncos defense just got the ultimate sign of respect, and it's actually hilarious how afraid of our best player the rest of the NFL is. We get another ringing endorsement of Bo Nix from a guy who knows football and has won a Heisman Trophy. We get training camp updates, and we have an exclusive update about our interview with Marvin Mims Jr. That and way more in this video. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben, and it helps me in the YouTube algorithm a ton if you would hit that like and subscribe button. So big news of the day is that Chad Ochocinco, remember formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals, is hosting his own elite wide receiver camp. So you've got truly the best wide receivers in football out there, at least the biggest names out there. You got Courtland Sutton, Jamar Chase, Jeudy is there, and you have all of these guys there. And Chad Ochocinco dropped a 2-minute video in which the best receivers in football are all scheming together about how you get open against Pat Surtain, and they are absolutely flummoxed. Love this tweet here by Mile High Mims, who said they're talking about PS2 like they're scheming to try to beat Thanos, like the unbeatable villain in the Marvel movies. And it is absolutely hilarious just to see Courtland Sutton's face several times throughout this video where he's just kind of like dumbfounded. Like, I go up against this cat every single day in practice and I don't know how you beat him. And so here's what he's saying. So you have him you have Chad Ochocinco acting out like, hey, I'm Pat Surtain. How would you go about trying to get past me here? So he goes and he demonstrates what he would do. And then you hear multiple other receivers come in and be like, no, that wouldn't actually work, because when he is in press coverage, Pat Surtain is so patient that he doesn't go for your first move or go for your first fake. And so basically trying to scheme up against beating Patrick Surtain is a fool's errand. Nobody is going to do it because nobody did it last year. So if you take a look here at Pat Surtain's average that he allowed against some of the top receivers in football, and it is laughable, truly. Like, you see him going up against, this was when you had DK Metcalf still with the Seattle Seahawks, 39 yards allowed, Pickens, 16 yards allowed, Mike Evans, 8 yards allowed. Obviously, there's tons of good talent there with the Jets. The Raiders, for 24 yards allowed. This was the game that we ended up starting down 23-0 because Pat Surtain got a concussion on the very first play of the game. So he had 0, but that's because he was out there. Then he was out this following week, and you're just looking. He did not allow a player to have over 45 yards on him in an entire game, and that is a wild stat. Even just like his worst performance of the year, 45, that's every other cornerback one's like greatest game, and that's against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, knowing that he was swapping duties back and forth there. That's also, Riley Moss wasn't 100%, and so you also saw like him not be able to play up to playing in a perfect secondary. So if we were this good and you got an entire group of the best wide receivers in football trying to figure out how to beat them, what are we going to look like this year with Riley Moss staying healthy throughout, hopefully, with Jahdae Barron, the best corner who wasn't named Travis Hunter in last year's draft? Our defense is going to be very, very difficult to score against. So all we got to do is put up some numbers, which all falls on the shoulders of Bo Nix. And we're hearing that Bo Nix is the most underrated quarterback in all of football, and we're hearing that from a very unbiased source, right? A guy who probably, as a former Washington Commander, would want to talk up his former team. In Jaden Daniels, obviously that's what RG3 should say, and what he said is, I watched all of Bo Nix's film last year, and Bo Nix is the most underrated quarterback in the entire game of football. So if he's underrated, and we know he threw for more touchdowns than all quarterbacks in the league except for 6, like he threw for more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes, and he did that without what we've heard all along is a quarterback's best friend. Like, a quarterback needs a running game and a great tight end, and he had neither of those things last year, and yet he still balled out of control. And so now you're seeing that love coming in from all over the national media. Hearing RG3 say that is just a fantastic sign. So training camp just around the corner. We are so close here. The Broncos put out that the hill that a lot of us have sat on and gotten crazy sunburns is shut down because they are building that new training facility behind it, which is going to be state of the art. And so for the first time in my time following the Broncos, we will be sitting on these bleachers, and it's coming super quick because you have Denver Broncos rookies are reporting on July 16th. That means we are only Wednesday away from hopefully having some footage, hearing about how our rookies are balling out of control is the hope for sure. And so we got rookies coming the 16th, and then the following Wednesday, you got veterans reporting. And so we have made it through the dog days of summer with no news, and this is awesome. So we're hoping that, obviously, before rookies report, are we going to see some news here about hopefully RJ Harvey signs his contract? There haven't been a ton of second-round picks who've signed their contracts yet. But then the thing that concerns me most is, are we going to get a signing from Jahdae Barron, because he is the last pick in the first round, other than Shamar Stewart, who it doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon, to sign his rookie deal. So we need to see some progress on that. Are we going to hear about extensions for Bo Nix, Allen, or Courtland Sutton? All of that we're still hoping to hear, and maybe we make an emergency video this weekend covering those things. Now, because you all have been like the massive supporters of this channel that you have, we have grown from nothing to 26,000 subs. And because of that, I was able to land just an absolute dream interview with Marvin Mims Jr. And I want to do it justice. And so I'm trying to do what ESPN does. And when he talks about a play, edit in the highlight of that play over top of it. And I'm not a crazy fast video editor, so I worked on it this morning before work. I'm going to work on it tomorrow, and my hope is that I drop that full interview with Marvin Mims Jr. on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be like a 27-minute interview, maybe closer to 30 minutes, and I could not have been more blown away by Marvin Mims, the person. Such a cool guy. I got a teaser for you here that we'll play in just a second, but just a huge shout out to him. I think I had asked him originally, hey, can I have 10 minutes? And we talked for a full 30 minutes. And then off camera, he was nice and talked to me about bringing my son's rookie card, and that he would sign it for him at training camp, and just the coolest guy. And he is a rising wide receiver in this league, one of the best, and I'm just pleased to have had the chance to meet him. And really, it's all thanks to you guys for supporting this channel. And so as we continue to grow this, I hope that there's more and more opportunities to talk to players, and that we can bring your voices in and field your questions for it. I had a ton of questions about what it's like to actually be a wide receiver. I didn't play wide receiver or really any football beyond Huron Middle School, 7th grade football team. It was a disaster. But I asked him hey, what is your dream route? And if you could draw up a play for Bo Nix in the huddle, what would it be? Here is a teaser of his response to that. And again, the full video is dropping Sunday afternoon, so make sure you're subbed to this channel so you do not miss it. It is Christmas in Kansas City. Sean Payton cannot get the call from his play sheet into Bo's headset. It's too loud, so Bo just looks at you and says, Marvin, whatever you want to run, what is your go-to route?
Knowing Bo, knowing me, knowing Courtland Sutton, knowing the guys on our team, we want a freaking deep shot, you know what I mean? It kind of happened in Cincinnati, kind of broken down play, rolls out of the pocket, throws it up, and you know what? A play is made. And that's kind of the, oh my goodness, part of football, because that's something you just can't predict. If you tell me the first 3 seconds of that play, I'm getting the ball, I'm you're insane. You don't see this cover two with 2 guys back here, and the next thing I look up and the ball's in there.
Football is so back on Wednesday. Broncos country, we got so much to believe in.